Okay, so I'm on the 2015 Ducati Diavel again. I love this thing. This bike is just insane. But also surprisingly practical and comfortable as well at the same time. And it's fast, like really fast. Yeah, this is kind of Ducati's idea of a cruiser. As you can see, there's not many cruisers that can do that sort of speed. I say it's a cruiser, I probably shouldn't keep saying that really. It's not really a straight up cruiser really. Although they are doing a version with forward controls and belt drive, so maybe that'll be a little bit more cruiser like, but I suppose it's like a semi-cruiser, semi-muscle bike type thing. I guess it is just a muscle bike. I guess that's the best description for it, really. It's just fun that a bike this massive can be this lively. Okay then, come on. Careful, the roads are very dirty today. I'm just still a little bit scared of riding this thing stupidly quickly. Especially on these roads. Oh, Jesus. Oof. Yeah, this thing's fun. This thing's a lot of fun. But occasionally you do sort of forget that you're on a big cruiser. You kind of think you're on a sport bike and then you go into a corner a bit hot. And just sort of go, oh god, yeah, there's quite a lot of weight to haul up. So what are we in now? We're in second gear. Brakes are good. Not too snatchy though. Again, not a huge amount of dive under the suspension either, under the brakes. It's got basically proper superbike brakes on this thing. It's got radial mounted Brembo monoblocks. Yeah, how many cruisers do you know that've got that? But again, here we are. So we're doing what, 20 miles an hour, and it's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. I have to say, actually, this is, out of all the sort of newer Ducatis I've ridden, this has the best fueling at low revs, definitely. The engine also feels a little bit smoother maybe. That might just be because of the size of the bike really, and the vibrations are being sort of dissipated a little bit better. And it's got ground clearance, look! So you can actually go around corners properly. Again, how many cruisers can you do that with? On these little B roads though, suddenly all that power does become a little bit more vivid. Jesus! Feels like I'm actually getting something out of it. It still feels like it's got a lot more on tap that I can't really access on the street, but I kind of like that. It's not too extreme to like something like the Panigale is, where that thing you never use all the power on that thing. It's ridiculous. It's got just enough power to scare you a little bit, but just enough power to actually use and access. So I like that. It makes me feel like a little bit of a hero. but not too much. It keeps you in check. There's enough power to make you think, okay, maybe I'm not as good as I thought I am, but enough power to still have a lot of fun with and still feel like you're getting something out of it. Does that make sense? I don't know. So yeah, I've already done a review on this thing, so I'm probably repeating myself a lot. It weighs about 200 kilos dry. So with fuel and curb weight, it's probably about sort of 230, 240. Couple that with 160 horsepower V-twin motor. It's fast by any bike standards. Price-wise, you're looking, I can't remember exactly, it's around about sort of 20 grand, I think, for the, depending on how you spec it out, anywhere between sort of 18 grand up to about sort of 25 grand for like the sort of super carbon edition. It's probably one of the most surprising bikes I've ridden, in the sense that I wasn't really expecting much from it before I took it out. And I was pleasantly surprised by how capable it was and how much of a laugh it was. Some bikes I've taken out recently are fun in the right environment, but most of the time they're quite serious, They're like serious bits of machinery. And this is, but it does it with a smile on its face. You see what I mean though? Like, for a cruiser. So every time you gun it, the front wheel just like hovers up the air a little bit. It's wicked. It's just so much fun. And like, you look at it and you just don't really expect it to have this sort of level of performance and this sort of playfulness. Hold on a little bit once you get up to speed. It is still a naked bike, you forget. But saying that, the wind protection's actually not too bad. I get the impression you could quite happily cruise on this at about 100 miles an hour all day long. There's very little on this bike I'd actually change. It's almost perfect as it is, I think. Probably some louder pipes. I think that's the only thing I'd probably budget for. But as it is, it doesn't sound too bad, even with the stock pipes. It sounds pretty meaty. And again, it's not quite as clunky and shouty as some Ducatis I've ridden. Like the Panigales, for example, it's just angry and shouty all the bloody time. Which does get a bit much, to be honest. Oh, that's fun. You'd never get bored of that, would you? So, yeah, that's it. Another fun day on the Diavel. I'd love to own one of these things, but realistically, if I had a spare 20 grand to spend, I wouldn't spend it on a motorbike, to be honest. But yeah, love this thing, love it to bits. It's just a crazy, insane, mental thing, but I love it.